Welcome back on board Butari. Today we've got to get the fuel tanks from out the van and all the way up, back fitted into the boat.
So before the tanks go in, I think we should give it a bit of a clean. What do you reckon? A bit grubby. You doing that?
I've got just the thing for that. So this cleaner is a cleaner and degreaser for use on interior floors, cheek and bilges. You're never too old to scrub bilges, are you, Rich?
I'm right at home with it.
So Richard's come for a visit and I've threw him down to clean the bilge.
Just so he doesn't come back.
Missed a bit.
Yeah, eat your dinner off it. Oh!
So we didn't bring the jet wash, but we didn't have to with that stuff. It's proper cleaning it off.
That'll do. Right, so me, yeah, up a little bit. That's it. We're in 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're in them all. I'll have my ends on.
Right, I've got a problem. People with normal size arms, like myself, I sort of can't quite reach. That is actually as close as I can get to the bolts. Might be able to get it. But to get down there, I'm definitely not going to be getting the washers on. Let's see how far Gemma's arm can reach.
Oh, I don't do this. Maybe a little bit longer because I've got longer nails.
Can you touch? Can you touch?
No.
And obviously the washers aren't magnetic, but I'm going to call it, so having no washers, I'm going to make the boat a tiny bit lighter.
Hold on, there must be a way we can get the washers on. I don't give up that easily.
That's what they used to do in racing cars in the 80s. Take the washers off.
It's not a racing car from the 80s, it's a boat from the 80s.
Anyway, we'll see if we can get them on and then we'll let you know how we did it. Probably don't, I don't think they're going on.
Go on, you there? Yes! Yes!
Okay. I don't know if I'm going to get them ones.
Try and get as many on as you can.
Okay.
Yes! Yeah, that's on that. Well done. Oh yeah.
So in this gap here, it's okay. But let's just try. Get to a comfortable position. Well,
Yeah, up a bit. There, yeah, go on. Yes? Yeah, you're on. Use your socket now to push it back. Yes, there you go.
can we reach that one?
Let me see your hands. Go on, Trevor.
No, let's see. May as well got armed with. Well, I definitely can't see now. Where is it?
Over, outside, starboard side.
That one?
Starboard side.
No.
Keep going.
I can't reach.
Okay, well, 4 out of 5 isn't bad.
So now I'm going to have to hope. I've only got a deep 14mm socket. I know that's not what the Americans call them. Call them 7/16 or something. And we're on. Talk you do this, just hand tight.
FT.
Hand tight FT. No, there's a bulkhead.
There, I was gonna. Oh, no. You know what, an inch away.
No, that's even worse, that.
You know, I was not meant to bend that way. Right, 4 out of 5. One's not got a washer. Not the end of the world, dear.
No. Right, so the fuel tanks are in with all the fuel system on board, the filler, the sender. So do you remember these valves we were on about? So you can basically turn each tank off. So this is the fuel feed here, and then we can then turn that particular tank off. Then there's a crossover pipe at the top. So if it's in this position and the valve's in this position, it can flow. So then if that one's closed, then the port engine will then take fuel from the starboard engine and vice versa. So if we isolate this one and open this one, then it'll take fuel from there. But normal running, you'd have that closed, so then you're taking evenly from both tanks and the fuel gets returned to the same tank. So in the future we'll be putting a valve, won't we, Jem, to like, so we can then return the fuel back to whichever tank.
Yeah, because that's why we couldn't just run off one tank
Yes.
when we first launched, because the fuel retain only went back to one engine.
Yeah.
So that's an update that we're going to do.
We'll do that in the future, but I think in the next couple of years we won't have any issues with these tanks because we know they're very, very clean inside, and we can still get to the access plates, even though that's behind this sort of fuel valve there, but it's not on this one. So if there is an issue, we can see like the fuel pickup pipe anyway. So what's next on our list?
Well, to get them fuel tanks out, you hacked up the deck. So we can't put the deck back down until we've done some fiberglass. So that needs to go.
So that goes around there. So what we need to do is work out how we're going to hold it in position while we fiberglass it, because we want this perfectly in line, don't we? So let's try and figure out how we're going to hold it first. Okay, so for us to get this nice and level and true, I've got a piece of wood. We're going to put a clamp on it now. So that'll hold there. And then so do you know, on YouTube we see people fiberglassing, they're professional and stuff like that. But not at all. I'm just had to nick these out of Gemma's galley. Which is
I want them back without fiberglass and epoxy on, please.
Yeah, this is like all the glass we've got. We brought the wrong... It's not the wrong epoxy, but we had loads of epoxy, but we brought the empty ones. Hence, we're not very good at this. I was just thinking to myself about doing fiberglass repairs, and I've not really done much fiberglass repairs. Apart from when I used to craft a motorbike and have to fix the fairings. And Gemma came up with a good idea of using a puppy pad.
Good to have a boat then, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm just wetting the surface first, make sure we get a good... Do I look like I know what I'm doing? I feel like every other YouTuber knows what they're doing, don't they?
Well, I can explain it to you,
But
I can't understand it for you.
Is that what my t-shirt says?
That's what your t-shirt says today.
Yeah, all I own is like idiot t-shirts. I go through my wardrobe, not that I ever go anywhere nice, but like, when it's t-shirt weather, I go, I can't wear that one, it's all like alright. Idiot.
I love your funny t-shirts.
Yeah.
Right then, leave that one to dry. See how it turns out.
Almost fiberglass in the dark, so...
Yeah, it is not very bright out here, is it?
It looks alright on the camera.
I know, yeah.
I should have filmed it with a torch. Right, so it's about 12 hours on. I think it dropped about 6 degrees last night, so it's gone off, but we don't quite trust it yet because the epoxy needs a good 24 hours to go off, doesn't it? So, but nice and strong. I think before we leave today, what we're going to use is some polyurethane marine sealant stuff to seal this gap here. And that job's ticked off, but we won't do that now because we'll end up standing in it and stuff, won't we? Right, so we need to trim it up Give it a quick sand, and then move on to the next job. So when we was last out on the boat, when it was in the water, we started it up and all of a sudden she started overcharging. She was charging at like 16 volts, maybe around the area.
16 volt range.
It was very, very high anyway, which is pretty harmful to our electronics and stuff. So what we did, we took the alternator off, we sent it away, and they rebuilt it. They put all new regulators inside it and stuff like that. So what we need to do now is refit it, basically. So whenever I fit an alternator, you need a really good ground, don't you? So we've got our positive wire that goes basically down to the battery. This is our tacho. This is our switched live to energise the coils in the alternator. But what we need is a good ground. That's something that's usually overlooked. So what you do is give like a bolting surface a really good cleaning. Checking the alignment, perfect. Before I bolt it all up, I'm just checking like the alignment between the pulleys, which is good. So we ordered some new belts as well. There wasn't really much wrong with the old ones, but the old ones will do as a backup. It's a bit awkward to get them in. The only other thing I noticed was a bit poorly on the boat was the fuel pipe. So these go from the racors to the main fuel pump. So I had some new ones made. Check these out. So we might as well fit them now, won't we?
So we're going to talk about anchoring. We haven't really done much anchoring. So
we're doing nothing.
It's going to be a quick conversation. So we see a lot of people who mark their chain so they know how much they've got out. I don't know why, but I feel like we should do it. So people use coloured cable ties or spray paint, but the issue with them is that paint can wear off and cable ties can snap and come off and stuff like that. So we found a better solution. And the better solution is Anchoright chain markers. So basically you screw them in and you can pick what colours, set them to what depth you want. So when you're looking at your anchor, you can refer to your little chart and know how much anchor that you've got out. So let's go and see how easy they are to fit.
And to see if we've got the right ones for the chain.
Oh yes.
Your last one to break, eh?
Yeah. $26, and then from there to there, so probably about 28 meters of chain. So what we need to work out now is what colours we want for what depth. So you can have a little reference chart, so stick that in there. So that's our anchor. So if we work out our colours now, there's just too many colours to choose from. Obviously this set is for quite a deep boat. In the future we probably might get more chain, so we will keep and add on if we need to. But for now, there's the colours that I've gone for. So we're going to go for red at the anchor, so you know, like, stop pulling the anchor in because it's there. And then I also went for a little rainbow pattern.
So I'm going to put the one right on the anchor end, like yay far away from the anchor. So when we're hauling the anchor, then basically we know when to start throttling back.
You'll be able to see it.
Yeah, we're getting prepared. So that goes in there. That goes in there. Screw goes in there. Cool. So the anchor can still, or the chain can still be a chain. It can still do its stuff. So yeah, that's really, really good.
Right, one down. All of them to go.
When I'm with you, I feel like I'm inside a rainbow. When I'm with you, I feel like I'm inside a rainbow.
Right, so we're going to fit the black ones now here. So we know basically you should never be able to see the black ones because that's the bitter end. You want to put the load through this, not through the where it's attached in the anchor locker. Your beauty. There's a red one, that means the anchor must be close.
Yeah. That was so easy to fit, and at least now we'll know how deep our chain is. Anchoright have also offered you guys a 10% discount on these. I think they're really handy, and I think it's really handy to know how much chain you've got out, and especially when you're trying to work out how much chain you need to put out for anchoring and stuff like that. So go and check them out, the link's in the description. If you use the code SHIPHAPPENS, you get 10% off. So, a few more jobs done on the boat. All we have to do now for the fuel side is to get the recoil filters back in, all the fuel system plumbed in properly. But that isn't the only thing that's wrong with the boat. There's a few things that we haven't told you. So we are going to reveal all of that in the next video. So if you want to find out what is even worse than the fuel tanks, subscribe. And keep an eye out for the next video. Thanks for watching. See you all soon.